This past week I gave Insect Glaive a solid try, flying away. In fact, it was so much fun, I got inspired for another parody. Welcome back to another Monster Hunter Journal, where I am progressing steadily through my pledge to complete every single quest in Sunbreak, and because it's gone a little monotonous, not gonna lie, I've started experimenting with other weapons. So over the last 2 years, I've been using the Switch Axe. A couple weeks ago, I decided to dabble with the Lance properly, and I've grown a new appreciation for it. So I said, what other weapon do I hate that absolutely sucks out there? I looked through and I said, you know what? The Insect Glaive. This thing, I don't like the bug, I don't like the concept of it, and I don't like being in the air. I'm always on the ground. So let's give this a try. I did attempt it a few months ago. I believe I tried it. I think it was in Rise, and I just couldn't. It was bad. Something has changed in this brain of mine, because this time I picked it up with I really don't know what it is, but even with the Lance, it's the same thing. I spend maybe 10-15 minutes, and I get like this aha moment with these weapons where I'm like, okay, I get it. I go through all of the different attacks. I'm like, I like this set of attacks. And then I go for it, and I find a new appreciation for it. So yeah, spoiler, I can somewhat hunt with the Insect Glaive now, which is so weird. So the first thing I did was, well, first I need an Insect Glaive. So I went over to my smithy buddy and I was like, can you make me one of those bug sticks? So I ended up making Le Miracle, which is the Insect Glaive from Shagaru Magala, one of those. And I was about to go out into fighting, and then the whole chat's like, wait, you need your bug. I was like, what? Doesn't it come with the Insect Glaive? Nope. So I started looking through. I'm like, oh, this one looks cool. And everyone's like, no, don't do that one. That's bad. So anyways, the chat recommended the Faux Beetle. No idea why. It's got the dual color ability. Not really sure what it does. That's fine. I'm not going too deep into the Insect Glaive lore at this point. So then I go over into my training area to see, all right, what can I do with this? So the first thing I discover is, wow, we got some cool ground combos going on in here. You push a button and it just doesn't stop whacking the thing. Kind of cool. Reminds me a little bit, actually, I'll tell you in a moment. Then I learned, hey, you actually need to throw your bug to gather up to 3 resources, and if you get the 3 colors on your little resource management, you win a bingo, aka you can deal more damage and it holds everything better, something like that. Now where you collect the resources depends on different things. Like the white color comes from the mobility, like the legs, the red comes from the face, and I think the other one is yellow, that comes from anywhere else. So I've learned in Insect Glaive combat, priority 1, shoot your bug, call back your bug, get energized, and then we flip into the air. So I really liked the air maneuvers. I really like the button that you just put your glaive down and off into the air you go. I'm like, if I'm gonna be playing with Insect Glaive, I'm not gonna be a ground-based Insect Glaive user. I'm gonna be in the air where I belong. I'm flying away. Set an open course for the open air, 'cause I've got to be free. Free to face the life that's ahead of me. On here I'm the hunter, I'll play every weapon in every game, and I'll try, oh Lord, I'll try to be not bad. Oh! It's gonna be very hard not to be so bad at this. So in the air, I learned that you could do your basic dashing. So you're dashing on the good looking one. And then I learned the helicopter maneuver, which reminds me of Pit from Smash Brothers when he does his whatcha whatcha whatcha. And so I can whatcha whatcha into the face of the monster, and then you bounce off, and then you whatcha whatcha again, bounce off, whatcha whatcha again. It's a whatcha good time. It was pretty fun, but everyone's like, whatcha whatcha isn't really good. Get yourself a better attack that does more damage. And so I was introduced to the wasp sting. And this one I like, because you're in the air, and while you're not washing, you are honing in and just pow, and then bounce off, and pow, and bounce off, and just, it's so satisfying to use, and it's so much more accurate. That became my de facto attack. I don't know if it's interesting to watch. I don't know if it's effective, but I'm all about fly like a hunter and sting like a bee. Or a wasp. And then I've learned about the wire bugs combo, and there's another heavenly smash here. Just like the lance, you can wire bug yourself down to bring your Insect Glaive, and you properly heavenly smash onto whatever you want. Now this one is a little bit harder to land because you're zipping around in the air, but I have been practicing it. So my default combo is pretty much run up, jump up, and then ping, 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 heavenly smash. So there's that, and that was pretty much like my go-to combo. And I said, okay, I'm ready to fight a monster. So I went and fought Nargacuga for some reason, and he proceeded to smack me with his tail a lot more than when I usually have a ground-based weapon like a switch axe, because the tail is easy to dodge when it's vertical and you're on the ground. When you're in the air, that tail is a whole different mechanic to deal with. It's harder to like dodge it, and kept smacking me in the air like a fly swatter. So it really made me appreciate just how different attacks are more problematic depending on the weapon you have. And I like logically, I always knew this, but to feel that felt really interesting. I really had an aha where I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't like using this against Nargacuga. Also during this fight, so I always like to go into my new weapon fights with no skill optimizing. I just want to see, okay, what's going on with the weapon. And honestly, this is where I learned very quickly the skills I need. For example, with the lance, I think it was, what did I realize? With Insect Glaive, it was my stamina. It was constantly out of stamina. I'm like, there's got to be skills that preserves my stamina. I recall seeing them. I just never needed to use them before. And then with the switch axe, it's the whole maneuverability and the speed, right? Rapid morph, evade extender, and all that. You feel it when you can't. Oh, that was the other one for Lance. It was evade extender. I was hopping so short. I'm like, oh, this feels so constrictive. So you feel the skill that you need, especially if you have some experience in the game, as I do now. They recommended Stamina Surge, which honestly, I don't know what it does because I didn't find it. I didn't slot it in. I found a piece, I think it was the Sailor boots or shorts that have Stamina Surge. No, I just lied. Marathon Runner. It gives you 3 hits of that, which provides 50% less stamina drain when I think you're doing like an active, like as it's draining. It just, to my understanding, it's the rate that your stamina drains is 50% slower, which is freaking awesome. And then there's Constitution, which reduces the fixed stamina depletion. So I think that's when your stamina gets decreased in chunks instead of a gradual thing. So having those two really minimized it by 50%. It's like having 100% more resources or 2 times more resources. So I went back with that, and stamina was no longer a problem. I was jumping, I was poking, I was slamming. It was a good time. And after this, I was like, all right, now let's try with multiplayer. So I brought in the community. I said, Insect Glaive only. So we all went in there, and you could see some people were like zipping and darting from the sky, whereas some were on the ground doing their acrobatics and all that. It was a good time. So I started trying different monsters. Some people recommended the Wyverns, and we went against a Rathalos. And I have to agree, like this was such a fun time. Rathalos jumps in there. I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to jump up and I'm going to smack him on the wings. And he's just like always in my hit zone. It was so satisfying, except the drawback is the heavenly smash is very precise, and that's like your big damage dealer. So if you miss it, you kind of miss out on damage, which extends the length of the fight. As I'm getting into this grind, like deeper into it, I do want to finish my hunts faster, and so anything that's that draws a battle out longer than it should, I'm just like, well, I need to make my time shorter. As much fun as I'm having learning, I also want to shorten things, because I'm at 335 quests that I've completed in Rise and Sunbreak together, and I am nowhere near finishing this freaking pledge. I'm going to probably have to, I will grind some out offline, because I can't do it all on stream. I'll be here for another 2 years. I am on top of my Master Rank event quests. I've done all the ones they've released so far, and I'm done Master Rank 1 and 2, those ones. But I have still, I think, the last follower quest. I have all the anomaly quests, most of them anyways. I have the arena quest. I still have higher rank quests. I have all the event higher rank quests. And they're releasing new quests every week. I just can't keep up. Don't make pledges, kids, that are too big to keep. I mean, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep going, but man, it's a lot of quests. So that's where I am with the Insect Glaive. Total 180. I can actually fly now. And I have so much to learn. I mean, the different bugs, like I can see that this weapon has so much more depth to it. But I like getting kind of my vanilla taste of all these weapons, having my one solution. Even with the switch axe, I would say I have one move. I don't even use the counter of the switch axe that reliably. So I'm a one-trick pony, so that's what I do. I don't know what I'm going to try next, but I will be away for a couple weeks, so don't expect too much progress on my pledges while I'm away. I'll be back in a couple weeks, and otherwise I'll see you on that journal. Let me know which weapon you want to see me try, and until next time. Gathering of angels appeared above my head. They sang to me this song of hope. This is what they said. They said, did you hear that a slice of pie in Jamaica is $2.50, and in the Bahamas a slice of pie is $1.25? Those are the pirates of the Caribbean. Come fly away with me. Come fly.